All right, on this episode of the LPDS, we got we got a lot to cover. Now, I'm not gonna cover all of it, probably not because I'm gonna forget most of it. But we got Yankees updates, we got LPDS compound updates, and of course, we got some tinfoil hat updates to provide in the Junction. All that plus a nice little cage fact coming up for you right now. All right, Jabronis, we're back. Welcome back to the Libretti Podcast Diary Show. I'm your host, Libretti. It's a show that talks about nothing but tries to find the lessons in everything, and we have a good time doing it. At least I do most of the time. Hope everybody had a good week. This has been a whirlwind of a week, probably for a lot of people, especially here at the LPDS compound in the universe. So I'm going to try to get into as much as I remember, but it was a crazy week. All right, so let's just get into it and talk about it. First things first, let's get the Yankees out of the way. Let's get sports out of the way because we're gonna get Ajita talking about it, and I know we're gonna get Ajita talking about everything else this week in this episode. So, good news. Here's some good news. We're gonna try to put as much of a positive spin on the Yankee situation as possible. Aaron Judge hit his 350th home run recently. He's like the youngest to reach that milestone. So that's cool. He's still doing it on both sides of the field with the bat and the glove. Best player in baseball. Awesome. Little bittersweet moment here that I want to talk about very quickly is that the Yankees have finally parted ways with DJ LeMahieu. Now, this is bittersweet for a number of reasons, but it sucks because I love DJ LeMahieu. Most Yankee fans did. And for a number of years, he was what was keeping that team going. Aaron Judge was younger. He was still coming of his own. He was getting hurt. Everybody else stunk or was getting hurt all the time. And he was the best hitter in baseball. And he went from the best hitter in baseball to the worst hitter in baseball in a timeline that I'm trying to think of anybody else I've seen go from best to worst that fast. I can't really include Crush Davis from the Orioles because he only had like 1 or 2 years where he was good, and he was just mashing home runs. He was a good hitter all around in that time, but he wasn't as good of an all around hitter as DJ LeMahieu was. DJ LeMahieu was the best in the league. Crush Davis had the most home runs in the league, and he was still pretty good as a hitter, but he wasn't the best in the league to go to the worst in the league. DJ was the best in the league. He can hit for power. He can hit for average. Anytime that there was a situation that the Yankees needed something clutch to happen at the plate, he was the guy you wanted at the plate because he always delivered. He was the saving grace for the Yankees offense for a good amount of time, to the point where nobody wanted to see him go still. But he got injured. The same foot injury. We've talked about this. The same foot injury. It seemed like 15 times in the last 4 years, the same foot kept getting broken. And he went from best to worst. and it was only a matter of time. It should have happened probably 2 years ago, but standard Yankee, standard Cashman hold on to something way past its due date, way past its expiration date until there's absolutely zero value. And then you either drop them or you trade them away, but you still got to pay them. Either way, the Yankees lost on that one. Again, like I said, probably 2 years ago. In my opinion, maybe somebody else has a different opinion. But from a playing perspective, not from a fan, do you like this guy perspective, but from like we need players that are going to help us win. 2 years ago, he should have been gone, and they should have filled that void. But I sort of understand it a little bit with him, where it was like he was our guy, and we can't just give up on our guy that quickly. And I think Cashman caved a little bit on the fans' sentiment, and I know the players loved him, and Aaron Judge was a strong force last year of keeping him around. Like, hey, we owe this guy deserves a second chance or a fourth chance or whatever. So I get that. I also know that Cashman's ego doesn't allow him to admit when he holds on to somebody for too long, or he keeps a guy that's actually a bust, like Gary Fatso Sanchez, people like that, where he doesn't want to admit, like if he makes a move too that early, then he's admitting he's wrong, and he doesn't like to do that because he's a small, little, weak-minded, egotistical man. So there's a number of factors that kept DJ LeMahieu in pinstripes for longer than he probably should have been. But from a business perspective and a baseball perspective, he should have been gone. I'd say 2 years ago. Um, it sucks though, A, because we liked him and he was a saving grace for a long time, and B, and this is just my opinion. And there was a time where I wasn't paying attention to the day-to-day ops of the Yankees as much as I do now. So I do have some probably outdated information, or even like not all the info, and I'm remembering stuff incorrectly possibly. So maybe somebody like the Creature or Wet Cat or somebody can fill in the gaps here. But I believe, it is my belief, if we're talking sports tinfoil hats here, it is my belief that the Yankees organization ruined him. Now, he has to take some accountability, obviously, but he had these injuries, same foot injury, over and over again, and every single time it was basically the same thing, the same amount of timeline, so a couple months, 6 months, half a season, whatever it was, and we'll get him back in there. And I believe their inability to actually help their players, coaching wise, medical treatment wise, what have you. And then a little bit of DJ probably was thinking like he's an athlete, he's a competitor. He wants as little time on the bench as possible. He doesn't want to be on the sidelines. And he also knows he was getting older. He was on the tail end of his prime. So the longer he sits on the bench with an injury, the harder it's going to be for him to get back to banging, and he's going to start losing his step and losing his abilities. And then he's going to start becoming one of those old journeymen that bounce around from team to team because they don't want to let go of the game, and they think, oh, I just need one more I want to finish off on a good year, and they keep having bad years. So he's probably thinking, I got to get out there, help my team. My team's relied on almost only me for so long. I need to get back out there to help them out. And then the team, I'm sure, thought about the same thing. We got to get this guy back out here for all those same reasons. So they probably, I'm guessing they rushed his recovery. He was okay with that. This is where his accountability comes into play. Rushed his recovery, and he wasn't really ever fully recovered. Not to mention the fact that I don't think the Yankees are good at actually rehabbing people anymore, rehabbing players. And they're certainly not good at developing players, so why would they be good at rehabbing players? So he comes back. He's not 100%, and he doesn't have anybody around him to help to keep him in the the lanes of a recovery. Like, hey, I notice you're doing this. If you're doing this to compensate it because you're still uncomfortable, then we got to change something up here. This and that. They don't have any of that guidance. That good guidance. The guidance that they have is, hey, Anthony Volpe, you've hit one home run over right field fence in Yankee Stadium. We're going to make you a home run hitter. And then sit there and wonder why Anthony Volpe's batting 112. He's batting my dog Randy's weight. And he stinks. And he can't figure out why. Because you're not a home run hitter, dude. You're a contact hitter who should be getting on base and stealing bases. Yet you can't seem to do any of that. You stink. And that's a lot I put on the Yankees organization. The same with this LeMahieu stuff. But at the end of the day, yeah, whether he got ruined by the team or not, same injury, copy-paste, same scenario for 3 or 4 seasons, and he never actually fully recovered or figured out how to work around it. The guy stunk. He had no power. He couldn't hit the ball in the infield. It was like Corey Davis at the plate. No power, and he wasn't as good. He wasn't good in the field anymore. He was a liability all around. So they finally put him up, designated free agency, DFA they call it, designated for free agency. They still owe him $22 million, and that's another thing. Like that's another ego thing of cash. Is like we got to get our money's worth here. We owe him $20 million, and so. It sucks, but it had to be done. It absolutely had to be done a while ago because this was a problem. There was a liability. There was an issue at third base for a long time now. And because they were staying loyal to him, even he was on the bench the whole time, injuries, and they're like, well, we got a third baseman. Well, as soon as DJ comes back, he's our third baseman. And they missed opportunities to actually plug that hole and get a quality third baseman and an offensive, another bat besides Aaron Judge and playoff Stanton. And now look, we got Jazz Chisholm playing third base again, who stinks. And we're going to talk about him right now because he got put on the reserves for the All-Star team this year. And I can't figure out why, or I couldn't figure out why. And then I went to social media and I looked at all the comments when the Yankees announced that he was going to be on the All-Star team in the reserves, on the roster somewhere. And I see all these stupid fans. Oh, I love Jazz. He's the best. So happy for him. This and that. And that's how he made it, the fan vote. From idiot Yankee fans. Stupid morons. And I love the Yankees, and I love our fan base, but we're stupid. A bunch of idiots. And they're talking, oh, Jazz is it's going to be so great to see him out there, and he deserves it. No, he doesn't. He stinks. Okay? He had a nice little upswing when he came back from his injury, where he wasn't completely useless. And now he's back to his same old shenanigans. He'll probably bat .230 again this year with maybe 20 home runs because that's all he does. He tries to swing for the fence. He has no concept of balls and strikes, what count it is, what the situation is, getting runners over. No. Doesn't matter what pitch, what scenario, what time of the game, what's at stake. Home run swing all the time for Jazz with a stupid torpedo bat that is not helping him. And he stinks in the field comparatively. He should just stay at second base. But they have to put him at third because they don't have a third baseman. Because Oswaldo got hurt. He's out for the season. Peraza's been stinking it up to the point where they can't rely on him. And LeMahieu's gone now. And he was a stinker when he was out there. So they got to put Jazz in. And that's what everyone's saying. Well, he's playing out of position. Listen, here's the thing. Okay? They're not picking your all-star capabilities based on how you are on the field. There's maybe been like 5 total guys besides catchers. Get rid of don't talk about catchers because they're allowed to suck at hitting compared to the rest of the league because if they're good catchers, that's an important position. So historically, catchers never had to be as good at hitting, even though you did have some solid guys like Steroids Pudge and Gay Piazza and those guys out there that can play both ways, so to speak. No pun intended, Piazza. But now catcher's basically really the only position where like you're making the all-star team more so on your ability to throw guys out, call a game, be a catcher. So the threshold's a little lower, the stands are a little lower on the batting side. But everybody else, it's about your bat. And if you look at your bat, Jazz Chisholm got fan vote alone because stupid Yankee fans see him have 3 games that are halfway decent in a row. He's able to string along a couple good games, and they're like, oh, he is all-star caliber. He was just hurt and playing out of position. That's why he stinks. And that's why he stunk last year, too, because of other factors, and not because he just is not that good. But they love him. They love the flash. I like he's got, I don't mind the flash and the attitude, but like he spends so much time matching his puss pads and not enough time figuring out how to be a good situational hitter. He is not a home run hitter. He should not be a bomber like a Stanton type. Stanton's a home run hitter. Stanton can kill you with a ball hit off his bat from 600 feet away. He's a sniper. He's a tank gunner, really, because that ball will still kill you, blow you right to bits. Jazz Chisholm is not that guy. He's not a bomber. He's not a home run hitter. Bunt the ball. He probably can't even do that because he stinks. And God forbid you tell him, hey, just get on base. Focus on getting on base. You got good speed. You're shifty. You'll make pitchers nervous out there like Volpe. Get on base. We'll score you in. You get on base, you steal second, you steal third. The league's down talent-wise for catchers, so most of the time they're likely to throw one away, and then you'll get home. Now we scored a run as opposed to you maybe hitting a home run once every 35 at-bats. Let's focus on how to learn how to win games. You're not home run hitters. Get on base, score runs. Oh, he's playing out of position. Nobody cares about how good you field if you can hit. Nobody cares about how good you can field if you can hit. Giancarlo Stanton has not played the field in like a decade. I don't remember the last time that guy played a fielding position with a glove on and it wasn't like an accident or an emergency. And he's not even a great example because he stinks in the regular season as far as his consistency. But the guy can kill you with a line drive. He can kill you with a ground ball. If you can hit the ball, it does not matter how good you field. Jazz Chisholm does not have any of that right now. So there's nothing to blame but the fact that you stupid fans just voted him in. Blame yourselves because you like the guy. He's got cool flair. Flair's not going to win you World Series. You saw it last year. Look what Flair got you. Flair got you one of the most embarrassing fifth innings in all of World Series history. That's what Flair got you. And not even playoff Stanton was able to dig you out of that hole. So let's cut the crap about Jazz Chisholm being all-star caliber and a good Yang and this and that. I don't mind. I don't dislike him. I know I'm talking shit about him. I don't dislike him. I just think he stinks, and people need to be objective about it. Do you want the Yankees to win, or do you want cool, flashy, fun guys on the team? Go to the beer league. Go watch a Savannah Bananas game if you want that. I want the Yankees to be feared by other teams. I want the evil empire to be the evil empire. I want them to come in there and smack you around. I want their batters to wear out pitchers so that they're throwing 100 pitches in the third and fourth inning because the Yankees are wearing you down. And then when they get to the bullpen, they smash you. That's what I want to see again. I want to see them clear the benches when they get thrown at, and I want Darryl Strawberry coming out of the left field bleachers to come join in on the fight. He's all hopped up on coke and whatever. That's what I want. I want the Yankees to be feared by the league. I want them to be hated by other teams' fan bases. I want everybody to be talking shit about them again. And not in the sense that they are now, where they're just saying the fans are stupid, whiny bitches, but the team stinks. I want the hate because the Yankees embarrass you. That's what I want the hate for. And they're never going to get that when they have guys who care more about making sure that they use their mouth to tape up their second puss pad because now they have oven mitts on both hands because they don't know how to slide. And they're pussies. Anthony Volpe talking to you. Your dad's tougher than you. Your dad's getting into fights in the stands for people who shit talk his son. He's defending you to the death, but in reality, he knows, like, this kid's right. My son stinks right now. And it's half the Yankees' fault because they don't know how to develop players. I'm with you on that. But I'd rather have your dad out there because your dad's not going to double puss pad up. He's not going to sit there like Jazz Chisholm and worry about his shin pad matching his butt plug, matching his puss pad, matching his gold chain. To go out there and swing for the fences and 3 balls and miss all 3, and then go right back to the bench to take off the shit so he could go play third base like an asshole. That's why I want the old Yankees. I want the hated empire. Because they were feared and they were good, and they didn't take shit from other teams. Their manager didn't take shit from other teams. Their owner didn't take shit from other teams. And they won World Series. That's all I have to say about that. Actually, I don't. One more quick thing. Let's end positively. The Yankees came back a couple games ago, and they won against the Mariners in extra innings. They were down 5-0 in the 8th inning, and they were getting no hit. And I was like, this checks. And then they came back to tie it up. They took it to extra innings, and they won the game. Awesome. The best part about that, Giancarlo Stanton pinch hit home run to close the gap even further. I don't know if it was the 8th or 9th inning he hit the home run. I think the 8th inning. To take it to like 5-3 or 5-4 or whatever it was. Pinch hit home run, clutch. And it brought me right back to 2024 playoff stand. And it was, what a sight to see that. I almost started crying. And then I went back to YouTube and watched the compilation of his 7 home runs in the playoffs last year. And then I cried. There's for a Yankees team that didn't win the championship. That's probably the best Yankees playoff memory I'll have. 2001, not a good memory. They was awesome, like coming back and winning games and taking things to extras and all the clutch stuff that they had. They still lost. Nothing will compare from a losing Yankees season standpoint. From a standpoint where the Yankees did not win the World Series. The other ones where they won, that's obviously different. They won. Those are great memories. Those are better memories. But for any team that I've seen, the Yankees that have not won the World Series, I will look fondly on playoff Stan doing what he did. He took the team on his back and almost took him to victory. He was like Sergeant Horvath in Saving Private Ryan. Taking the team on his business, I'm just going to do this myself. And he's shooting and he's throwing his gun at Nazis and he's getting shot at and picked off. And he's literally dying there. but he's going out swinging. He's like, I'm going to do it or I'm going to die trying. That's what Stanton was doing. And the Yanks were so bad in the World Series that he couldn't do it. They killed him. But man, what a great home run he hit, and then what a great comeback victory for them against the Mariners. I think that game was. So, all right, that's all I got to say about that. Let's get angry some more. I got more ungrateful, disrespectful kamikaze birds on my property again. The same breed of bird, the same genus and species of bird. I don't think it's the same ones, but they had babies somewhere on the property, and now they're protecting them. And I said it once. I've said it every other time this has happened to me before, earlier this year and then last year too. I understand the protective instincts. Birds, they got to protect from predators. That's what they do. They're out supposedly in the wild. Everybody's considered a predator. Here's my issue with this. I also know birds are smart. Okay? Crows are one of the smartest things out there, actually. Nic Cage has a pet crow. Smart crow. Capable crow. Picks up on things. These birds don't seem to pick up on the fact that I am the reason why they're able to safely and comfortably live in this neighborhood, in this compound. To be able to have babies that survive and grow and become nice, healthy adult birds. Now, this time, I don't even know where the baby birds are residing because it's every part of my property. The adult birds are following me and Randy around and swooping in to attack us. I got plucked in the back when I was trying to water my plants in the backyard. I tried to mow my lawn in the front yard, and they were perched up on the roof over my garage door and went to swoop down at me as soon as I left the garage. Both sides of the house, they follow me to those sides. I have to bring weaponry with me. I went to mow my back lawn, so I had to get my lawnmower from my garage to the gate around the side of the house to get to the back lawn. And they're attacking me as I'm trying to walk. So I have to turn the lawnmower on to scare them right off the bat. And then I have to have weaponry in my other hand while I'm pushing the lawnmower to scare them. And then also open the door, keep the lawnmower on, protect myself all at the same time just to get to my own goddamn backyard. Sorry, T Family Show. No GDs. And the whole time, this ungrateful, stupid bird doesn't even realize they wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for me. This is like a rich, New Jersey liberal housewife or a celebrity. They're in a comfortable space, but they're bitching and moaning, and they're attacking the very people who created this life for them. The stupid bird's got its little stupid nose ring in, purple hair, fat kids that she's got them on worm blockers, worm and bug blockers, so that because this bird identifies as a human, so we gotta, this baby bird, I gotta protect this bird from the oppressive, toxic man that lives on this property that could attack us at any moment. Forget the fact that I've never attacked them. When I go out there, I'm nothing but kind to the birds all the time. Same with Randy. He's not even attacking them. I could see if Randy grabbed one of them or went after one even, they can, we got to watch out for this duo. This dog can't be trusted. These whites can't be trusted. I would get that. But we haven't done any of that. But then I built this utopia for you. Okay? This toxic masculinity that you're attacking and see as the biggest threat to your kid's survival is the reason why you live that comfortable lifestyle to attack me in the first place. Okay? I built this protection around you, this bubble. I'm the one who went out to war to defend your freedom and comfortability so that you don't have to worry about hawks and possums and squirrels and foxes and raccoons and other predators that actually are dangerous to you, that would steal those eggs or eat those babies. They're not anywhere near the LPDS compound. And do you want to know why? Because I go to war for this compound. Randy defends it. He keeps all the other animals out. Okay? You heard what he did to the possum. Now, the possum, he's going to become an ally very soon. With his skill set, he can help. He can live here and be protected by what we've built. I've defended successfully the gates and walls of this property and this compound and this empire from the strip mall, the outside invaders. I went to the mattresses for that. I cleaned out all the riffraff, walking around, coming over here, knocking on my door 7 a.m, looking for money. London Boy's gone. He's not even in this country anymore. He has been deported from the LPDS universe. We did that, okay? The 2 toxic males, me and Randy, that you attack day in and day out. We did that. And what do we get for it? We're like the Vietnam veterans coming back home just to get spit on and attacked. Not only do we have to live with the PTSD of going to war for our gates and our fences and against the possums and the raccoons and the cross-dressers from the Section 8 houses down the street and from the London Boys of the world and from the trespassers that got arrested and almost shot by the neighbor's house. All the wars and combat we've had to endure. We have to live with the PTSD and we get spit on by the people who live in our community that we protected and built for them. It's outrageous. And I won't stand for any there. We can only take so much before I take the leash off of Randy and I set him up real nicely with free poultry. And guess what? I'm not even going to care. He's not even going to care if he gets a rash because he does get rashes when he eats poultry. We're not going to care. I'll gladly take him to the vet to get his rash pills because I'm going to pluck those damn birds right out of the air and leave them right there on the ground for him to take care of and finish the fight. You can only push an ally so much before the ally becomes your enemy, before enough is enough. I made you, birds. Don't forget. And if you're the birds that were born here on this property last year that I protected, and this is what you're doing now, knowing all that, you better hope I can't confirm that. Because if I do, you're going down. You're out. I will go right to war with the birds, and I don't care if the bird culture comes after me on the internets. I don't care if animal protection comes after me. I don't care if PETA comes after me. We will take them all down with us. You don't think we have the nuclear codes here at the compound ready and waiting to go? You don't think we have an Alamo plan built in place to ensure that at the end of the day, nobody can take what we built here at the LPDS universe? Try us. Try us. I am so sick and tired of these damn ungrateful birds acting like they're the entitled and we're the enemy. I'll show you the enemy. You want me to be an enemy, I will be an enemy. And if you think I don't know how to handle aerial attacks, think again. Okay? I have been the orchestrator of many, many aerial attacks in my day. I have fought guerrilla warfare type enemies. If you think I don't know how to reverse engineer aerial attacks to be able to defend myself and then also go on the attack myself, think again, birds. I will rope you in to a trap of safety and security to the point where you won't even know you're flying into your demise. And you'll do it happily. You'll be flying in all happy and stupid and fat and dumb, laughing all the way to the bank when really the bank is a hot cauldron of oil waiting to melt you. I am so tired of these birds. I should not have to arm up to go outside in my own neighborhood that I've built, and I protect myself. If martial law is what you want, birds, martial law is what you'll get, and you will lose. You think you're going to actually hurt me with your pecking, your dive bomb kamikaze pecks and bail? It's not going to work. It is only a matter of time before you're all going down. And guess what? You all know. The LPDS community knows, and I don't even mind saying it. I'll reveal my plans for you, birds. I don't do war nicely. Okay? I fight dirty. There is no Geneva Convention in my world. This is our universe. Okay? War is a last resort for a reason. It is a last resort for a reason. It is not like how we do politics in this country and other countries where it's the second option. First option, ask them a question. Second option, go to war. We're not doing it that way. It's the last option for a reason. It's because we fight dirty. Okay? I will blow this whole place to the Stone Age. And as I pick each and every one of you little bastards, ungrateful bastards off one at a time, I'm leaving you out there so that your friends and family can see. There's no respect here anymore. If you want war, the respect goes with it. And I'll leave you out there tortured and battered and bleeding out with your little hooks and talons cut off. Bamboo shoots in your claws. Clipped wings. I'll make your wings look like a basketball net. And I'll leave you out there for your dumb, stupid, ungrateful friends and family to see what happens when you disrespect and attack the very people that gave you the freedom and comfort and safety to do all that. To be that ungrateful bastard. No. We do things different here, folks. We do things different. War is a last resort because it is total annihilation. Geneva Convention, gone. Laws of armed conflict, gone. Rules of engagement, gone. There will be casualties. There will be collateral damage like you can't believe. If you have wings and you're in the battlefield, you are done. I don't care if you're a reporter. I don't care if you're the innocent little bird just trying to fly through and you got caught up in the battle. I don't care if you're one of the little drummer birds or a flag-holding bird. You're done. Don't fuck with us anymore here. We will make an example out of you for every bird in this entire world. They will all know what happened here. The gloves are about to come off. I'm so tired of these ungrateful. I have been nothing but accommodating to these damn birds for years now. And I don't care anymore about their protecting. They'll never know. They'll never know if it's going to be a predator or prey. They'll know. They will soon know who the predators really are. And they're gonna come looking like them, Trojan horse. You think I don't have the camouflage already in place to look like a bird? I was born with bird-like features. I am beaked up. I am low center of gravity. I am nimble, and I will claw your damn eyes out. And then I'll have, while you're writhing in pain, trying to figure out what the hell just happened to me, you won't even get a chance to investigate because Randy will come up and chomp you down like a steak dinner, like a birthday steak dinner that he gets every year. And then he's going to sleep soundly with a smile on his face, no remorse, no guilt. And I'm going to go back out there and I'm going to find another one of you. And I'm going to keep doing it until the message is received by the rest of you. If you want this protection, if you want your baby birds to continue to live in peace, you better change your tune fast, because I am getting tired of it. And Randy is getting tired of being on the leash and not able to be released into the wild like he always wanted to. And if you know any birds, pass this message on to them. Let them know. This is their warning. This is their fair warning. I'm announcing it out to the presses right now. It stops now. It stops now. Anyway, let's get into the good stuff and let's step into the cage.
Okay, let's run.
All right. Today's Into the Cage segment is proudly sponsored by Mario's Mobile Meatballs. Are you hankering for a good meatball, but you don't live in the Northeast and can't find a good ball anywhere near your town of Bupkistown, USA? Then order yourself a batch of Mario's Mobile Meatballs today. Mario stole the secret recipe straight from his neighbor's Italian grandmother just so he and his brother can pump out mobile balls from their parents' basement to have delivered right to your front door. This is stupid. So to have the freshest, most succulent balls in your mouth by dinner time, visit www.ballmenow.com. If you use the promo code Teabag and Tiramisu, you'll get a free Tiramisu Yankee helmet with your first order. That's all I'm going to say about that. All right, the cage fact. We got an update that I'm very skeptical about, but we're going to talk about it anyway. Apparently, things are officially moving forward with a National Treasure 3. Somebody at Disney has announced that they are moving forward with it. Script writing, production team assignments, the whole shebang. It is going to happen. Officially, they said. When that is, don't know. Who's in it? Also don't know. And this is why I'm skeptical, because they have no confirmation on Nic Cage's return to that saga, to that franchise. And here's where the problem is going to happen. And I'm trying not to get pre-angry, because I don't like to get negatively emotional about something that hasn't happened yet, because then I'm wasting my energy, because if it does turn out well, perfect. But here's what I'm worried about with all this. One, there's a chance that they build this all out and then They don't go to Nic Cage in time, or it's a poor time or whatever, and he says no to it, and then it scraps it again, and it's over before it started. The other thing is that they don't ask him at all, and they just decide to do what they did with the National Treasure streaming show that they had on Disney Plus, and go the super woke route with characters and storylines and stuff. And not only would it fail abysmally, but it'll ruin the franchise almost entirely. Because unless they change the name, unless we rise up together and have them change the name to something completely different so it's not attached, if it stays National Treasure 3 without Nic Cage in it, it's going to ruin. Every time you hear National Treasure, you're going to be like, oh, blew it. It was terrible. Because the most recent one is going to be the stinker. So they should really think hard about how they're approaching this. And what I would suggest is that you get Nic Cage officially on board right now. And then you finish the script with his guidance. You get the other two on board, the guy who played Riley Poole and the hot German broad. I forgot her name off the top of my head. I love her. Get them on board, the three of them, early, right now. I'm sure Riley Poole won't have much problem getting to him because they had him in the TV show. And that's basically all he's done besides The Hangover, where he plays the part that's only in the movie for 12 seconds each movie. So you can lock him down pretty easily. But the girl and Cage, got to get him right now and get him involved in the script writing so that they know they lived the first two success stories. Get Jerry Bruckheimer back in the seat as well to get him build it out the right way. Okay, and then two things will happen. It'll be a win-win, as they say in the business. You will get all your money back that you're going to put into this movie, and that's all you care about. We know the movie business only care about making money. That's why they do all these remakes and sequels and reboots, because they know at the end of the day, at the very least, we're going to make profit off of it. I don't care if they like it or not. The opening weekend is going to be so big because it's nostalgia and reboots that we're going to make our money back, so it's no big deal. They only care about money. You will make your money back and then some. And you will build a conclusion to a storied franchise. You know, for a lot of kids, the National Treasure 1 and 2 was like a life-changing saga for them growing up. If they were younger kids when those came out. They were awesome. As an adult, I love them. Obviously, a little biased, but still. So don't mess this up. This is a win-win. You can have an incredible Nic Cage movie, another incredible success story for Nic Cage's tool belt that everybody will love, and you will make boatloads of money doing it. And then maybe you can reboot your stupid TV show, and even though it'll suck without Nic Cage, because he's not going to do it, you'll still make a little bit more money because there'll still be people that are like, wow, you really killed it with National Treasure 3. We want to see what else you have in store for the series. The possibilities are endless if you do it right. So that's the update. That's it. That's the update. That's the Cage fact for you. Moving over to the Junction, we'll spin the logo up and we're going to get angry again, folks. Okay? And we're going to get tinfoil Hattie again, folks. Real tinfoil Hattie. And if that's not your thing, you should probably skip to the big three of this episode, because we have to talk about Jeffrey Epstein. And if you sat there and thought like there's no way he's going to talk about it because he doesn't want to do politics, this is not this is way past politics in the LPDS universe. Okay? Way past. This doesn't matter what your politics are. Couldn't care less about it. This is about justice for child rapers. That's what this is about. and the fact that it's the cover up of the millennium. That's what's going on right here. So if you didn't hear any updates, if you've been living in an absolute hole for the past week or so, literally right after last week's LPDS dropped, where I was talking about the Diddy, how you doing? That's within a week. I talked about Diddy getting not guilty and how it was expected, because that's what they do with these big intel operations, is they cover him up. So we knew he was going to be found not guilty of that. Right after, the Department of Justice, Trumpy Bear's Department of Justice, came out and said, we're closing the book on the Epstein stuff because we've concluded that he killed himself and there's no list, there's no suspects, there's no pedophiles. That's it. Case closed. Good day. Oh, and we have a video to prove it to you that he wasn't murdered. And they just sent this out, and that was that. Now, I can't tell you how many problems I had with this whole thing. The timing of it, how they went about it, what they said since then. And I can't sit here all day and talk about it. I'll keep a lot of that in my hip pocket, because I could talk for hours about the stuff right now that's been going on. And we can red yarn this bastard all day long. I can't do that because I'll go crazy, and I also have to prepare for a possible war with the birds. So I'm just going to give you the quick and dirty thoughts on this, and then we'll continue. We'll keep this. This will be a developing story. Okay. First of all, the video they showed, not even his cell. Okay. According to the images released years ago at the time of his apparent offing, his unaliving, back in 19 it happened? I forgot what year it was. 2019? Those images of that jail cell that he had then do not match the video of the jail cells in that security footage. Right off the bat, something's fishy. Not to mention the fact that, what did they say the whole time back in 2019? There was a camera malfunction, and all the backlogs, all the footage, recorded footage, got erased. Which we didn't believe to begin with back then. And then they come out and say, well, we have this footage, and this is the real footage. So they're already caught in the lie there. They didn't even say anything like, we had the footage the whole time, we just didn't want to say anything about it. No accountability whatsoever there. They're just like, yeah, we've had footage. Why would you think we didn't? Because you told us we didn't, you assholes. You told us that you lost everything conveniently. It was all burned in the fire. Then the cyber nerds out there, God love them, scraped the metadata on the video and said, yeah, this has been altered. Whether it was altered when they were just trying to get the footage from the log to an MP4 file, like rendering it on Adobe Premiere, on Photoshop, or whatever you want to call it, whatever video editing software you use, it's been altered. So it's not even raw footage. It's not even like, we don't know if it's been altered on purpose or by accident or what, but this is not it. Altered. And then there's a whole minute of missing footage that they came back and said, oh, yeah, all the cameras turn off for a minute while they recycle and reboot. They had to reboot, so every camera at some point or other turns off. So if you go look at other days of that camera footage, you'll see that at same time, for a minute, there will be no footage. Shut up. Okay? This is not 1995 where you have to change out tapes. This is 2019. If you're using that old technology in your security footage, then you should be arrested on that alone. But don't bullshit. We saw the quality of the video feed. It's 2019 quality, which means they had the technology that it was in place that they didn't have to do reset timelines of a minute off. That's malarkey. But once again, not even the same cell, not even the same prison area. Then we have the videos of Kash Patel, the FBI director, and Dan Bongino, the deputy director, whatever his job is right now. Dan Bongino he's made a lot of money over the last couple years, professing on his own personal show about the validity and the bullshittery behind the Epstein murders, suicide, what have you. Okay, he got a lot of viewership, a lot of viral clips of him challenging and talking about it. Kash Patel talking about transparency. We're gonna release all. This is what we're gonna do in 2023. He had a whole thing. This is what we're gonna do. JFK, MLK, 9/11, Epstein, Russia hoax, 2020 election, January 6th. All this stuff. We're gonna release it all. We're gonna get to the bottom of all of it. And then magically they go out. They both come out. Yeah. I know what a suicide looks like. He committed suicide, guys. Don't worry. I've seen this before. Like, nobody who sees what we saw would say otherwise. This is, And you could see on the video of them doing that when they came out together, it looked like a hostage video. You see how big and bug-eyed they were? They were in distress. And here's why. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I believe them to be good people that wanted to get to the truth and want to put this out there and do the right thing, and they're being told no. And when good people are put in those positions where they have to lie, it's pretty easy to tell when they're lying because they don't like to do it all the time. They're not professional liars. If you don't like to lie, and you're not a pro at it, you're going to give signs away. And that's exactly what they did. It's blatantly obvious that they're withholding information. Whether against their will or not, they're withholding. And you can hear by the rumors now. I know Kash Patel came out and said, the rumors are false about me talking about leaving the FBI if they keep Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, around. But Bongino has came out and said, yeah, she's a problem and I hate her. And it's stemmed from this Epstein stuff because she lied. She's been talking out of both sides of her mouth. She came out and said, well, yeah, I have the list on my desk. We have to go through and make sure we're protecting the victims. Even Kash Patel said we got to go through all the video footage to make sure we're not revealing anything about the victims before we release the hounds. Great, that sounds awesome. Protect the victims and then give them justice. And then what did that liar Pam Bondi say right after when they asked her about it? Hey, what gives with this stupid memo you guys just put out? And she goes, when I said the list, I meant the list of people at the trial. Whatever she said, she was like, the list of information we had, not the list of people. There is no list of suspects or perpetrators. There is no black book that he had of criminals. That's a blatant lie, and it's also wrong because his black book is out there in some parts. Some of it was released, and they campaigned on transparency. We're going to release all this information. The people have a right to know, and justice needs to be served. They campaigned on it. That's what people voted for when they voted for Trumpy Bear. was his transparency, and he's got this liar at the attorney general's position now. She also got caught on hidden camera talking to some lady in a coffee shop or some shit, saying, yeah, we have thousands of hours of footage of sex crimes with these children that we had to sift through. And then she denied it, and then James O'Keefe put that footage out there, and then she came out the next day and she basically said the exact same thing that was on the video. We have thousands of hours of footage we had to go through of all these sex crimes with children. And then 3 weeks later, or however many weeks after that, we don't have any of that. She goes, oh, the stuff that I was talking about was just regular child porn that only Jeff liked. That was just on his drive. It was just random child porn and not the blackmail stuff and the hidden cameras from his house. Because there are no hidden cameras. Even though they said we collected all the hidden camera footage from his houses, his mansions all over the country, and then his island, his sex pedo island. That's all non-existent too, apparently. And they just expect us to believe it all. There's so much more. How about there's a theory out there. I don't know how much I believe it. I'm trending towards believing it, though, that Jeffy is not even dead. And again, these photos could have been altered, but if you look at the photos that they released of his autopsy, that face does not match Jeff Epstein's face. Not the same guy. Not to mention the fact that the markings on the neck and all the autopsy reports say these are wounds consistent with a murder, a homicide. The broken bones in the throat and the neck, the wire. But he supposedly killed himself with these paper sheets that he had that he ripped up and tied and fashioned into a piano chord strength of rope there. And forget about the fact that his cellmate was like a quadruple murderer, giant dude who absolutely could have been incentivized to do it on their behalf. The whole thing always stunk. And this latest update makes it stink even more. To go from we're releasing everything, and then they had that whole dog and pony show that I was shit talking back when it happened, where they gave them these binders of information to these stupid loser influencers, like that ginger creep DC Drano, and he's sitting there holding it up like he's like this. I got it. I got the Bible. The binder of all the goods. And it's literally just the information that was already on the internet at Google. They just printed it up and put it in a binder for you stupid, gullible idiots to think you had something. You had nothing, you nincompoops. It was a publicity stunt. You got worked, and now we're getting worked. And after they did all of that, transparency, we're going to get to the bottom of this. Cash Patel goes on all the podcasts. We got to go. We're going through the footage. We have all the files. We're going through it. We're going to get justice. Dan Bongino. I'm joining up to help out with the cause. And then out of nowhere, it disappears. Not even, hey, we looked through all this stuff and we just can't find enough evidence to make any arrests or indictments or continue the investigation further. It's got a little cold right now, but we're still working. Not even just lie and say that, but to come out and pretend like none of it ever existed. Yeah, hey, by the way, we're closing the Epstein stuff because none of this stuff is real. We don't know what you guys are talking about. What do you mean? You're the one who told us you were going through it. You were the one who told us it was real. It's not like we got information from somebody else and you're clarifying, oh, hey, don't listen to them. They're wrong. They made that crap up to you to trick you. No, you're the one who's making the crap. You're the one who told us. And within a week of Diddy getting off scot-free for the same shit, involving the same people, the same higher-ups, the celebrities, the power brokers, what the hell are we talking about here, folks? What the hell are we talking about? And we haven't even touched the surface of Ghislaine Maxwell's father's history in the Mossad and Jeffrey Epstein's history with the CIA and the Mossad. And the fact that it all happened right around the time that we're bolstering up to go help defend Benny Netanyahu over there against Iran. Like, we don't have time to talk about all that. There's too much. There's not enough tinfoil hat here right now. I'm out of foil. It's just unbelievable how these politicians and cucks and criminals continue to blatantly spit in our faces and think and just because they know we're not doing anything about it, because we're fighting against each other. And I've been telling everybody for years, we are on the same team. These guys are the problem. And let me tell you something right now, too. I am not one of those, like, I hate this country, I want to move out, like some of those super lefty cuck simp bitches, those beta bitch boys out there that are burning the American flag and dogging on like this country sucks and I hate it and we got to leave. No, I love this country. I think this country is great. I think this country has a lot of problems and bullshit that we got to deal with. A lot of problems that we are not doing a good job of dealing with. And we're not going to be able to help the rest of the world if we don't handle our own shit. But go to other countries. Go live in other countries. You will be back. You will be back. Okay? So I am pro-America. You're allowed to be pro-America and still hate your government, the corrupt politicians that are in charge right now. In fact, I think, if anything, that's the most American thing you can do. You want to take care of America? We got to hold these bastards accountable. For how many more decades of lying and false flag operations against its own people and others and bullshit do we have to stand for, turning us against each other so that they can maintain power and control and wealth? How much more before we all sit here and realize, man, we're being played. We are stupid. And the LPDS has been saying it for years. It's not left or right. It's not Republican, Democrat. It's them versus us right now. The American people should be coming together against these assholes. And I don't mind saying it. First of all, not enough people are listening to this where I feel like I'm in any danger. Second of all, we all know that if something happened to me, investigate. Because I'm not going to do anything. There's not going to be any botched robberies gone wrong where they don't actually steal anything. There's not going to be double headshots and a hanging and call it a suicide. None of that. Like, I'm healthy. I'm happy. I love my life. I'm not suicidal. But I also know nobody listens to this, so I don't feel like I'm not in any danger. Even so, it's important to get this information out there. This is a child sex trafficking, torturing ring that we've been dealing with for decades. And everybody in power is in on it. Why do you think all of Trumpy Bear's enemies are not saying shit about it, except for the American people? Except for the anti-Trumpers who are just voters, the American citizens are putting out there like, oh yeah, Trump's administration is snuffing this and putting and burying this under the rug because he's on the Epstein list and he's covering his own ass. I get it. Like, now you want to talk about the Epstein list because you think Trumpy Bear might be on it. Good for you. I've been saying it for years. They're all involved. Okay? And it's not about Republican, Democrat. I don't know why you would want to protect these child predators just because they're on the Democrat side or the Republican side. I saw somebody say, like, oh, if it's the Republicans, then then we should probably, ease up because they're the only ones that are going to save us anyway. So they need to stay around. No, if you're a pedophile and you're sex trafficking children and underage kids and leaving them with nothing but lifelong of trauma and suicidal thoughts and depression and a shit existence knowing that they're never going to get justice. No. I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat, if you're my best friend, if you're Nic Cage, it doesn't matter. If you're part of this thing, I want you to go down with the birds. And I don't understand how other people don't feel that way. And that's how the power of the guys at the top feel. The ones who were not involved, that's what a lot of them are saying under the table, behind closed doors and different channels and stuff. They're saying like, "Hey, we can't reveal what's going on. It's too many people involved. It will take the whole system down." Please take the system down. You're giving me a raging bone daddy right now just thinking about it. Oh, we can't. There's the implications. We won't be able to handle it. No, that's what I don't care if they're good politicians for this bullshit stuff. Like, my eggs are cheaper. I better protect the child pedophile because I can afford eggs right now. Give me a break if you think that way. The American people have the power because we have the numbers. That's what makes us so powerful and influential against a corrupt government. It's also why over the past several decades, the government has been pitting us against ourselves because that makes us weak. And then now we don't have the numbers because we're fighting with each other about stupid shit as opposed to realizing they're doing this on purpose so that they can maintain a power. They know they'll never be able to do it. We can actually now take off the cloak and dagger shit. We don't even have to hide it anymore. We can blatantly come out and do whatever we want, and there's nothing these idiots are going to do about it because we got them fighting against each other. And I'll be damned if I'm going to let this slide. And I don't care if I'm the only one. I don't care if all my friends defriend me for thinking I'm a crazy person for this. I'm not crazy. They're crazy. It's crazy to me to think that you're okay with this just because, status quo, let's maintain the status quo. No, the status quo has been getting children kidnapped and trafficked and raped and killed for far too long now so that these power-hungry, corrupt demons can maintain the status quo. And now this orange bastard and his band of merry elves is out there saying, yeah, we're going to snuff this. And he goes, why do you keep talking about this creep, about this guy? Because you campaigned on it, asshole. You campaigned on it and got millions of people behind you all about transparency and blowing up the shit in the system and all this crap. And now you're the one trying to pretend it doesn't even exist and it never happened and you never said any of this stuff. What do you think? There's no cameras in 2025? There's no recordings? We have the receipts. We have the receipts, you dumb bastards. And when are we going to wake up and come together as a country and actually do something about it? Give us the numbers to do something about it. Everybody's talking shit about old Elon, crazy Elon, autistic Elon, trying to come up with a third party, even though we have a third official party, even more than three, the American party of politics. And what does Trumpy Bear say? And what do the Democrats say? Oh, it'll never work. It's a stupid idea. It's a waste of time. Why do they say that? Because they know that's a threat to their power, to their grip. Because the left and the right is actually working together when they're at the top. They're all in this together. And I don't know how many times I have to say that shit too. They are all in this together. Once you make it to the top, they're on the same team. And there's no constitutional regulation, there's no rule, there's no law, there's nothing in the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, there's no federal legislation out there that says there can only be two parties. That was created as time went on in this country When corrupt people, greedy, corrupt people who started getting voted into these positions started realizing, oh, this is a way for me to keep power. So they started creating legislation and restrictions to make it almost impossible to start additional parties. Legally speaking, though, anybody could start their own political party. You have to follow the rule, like the regulations on how to, like all the checklist items to be approved. And there's a lot of hoops. They created the hoops to make it damn near impossible to do it, but it's not completely impossible. And now they're scared. Now they're out there talking shit on crazy Elon. Why? Because if anybody has the actual ability to do it effectively and stir the pot finally, it's Elon Musk. It's the richest guy in the world, who's not in the pockets of everybody else, who doesn't have the lobbyists or the George Soroses of the world or the other corrupt governments influencing him. So like him or not, even if the third party is not your cup of tea, we should all want a third party because it proves that we can break up the bullshit. Because the libertarians have no backing compared to the other two. They kept saying, Elon, we have a third party. We have the Libertarian Party. And he's like, no, you guys shoot yourself in the foot all too often. So let me just do my own thing. And you don't have to like the party or believe in the politics, but you should want the third party, a significantly sized and impactful third party, because it breaks up the system that is ruining this country right now. That's why they're all running scared when they're talking shit about Elon. Trumpy Bear's like, yeah, he's crazy. I told him, don't do it. You're an idiot. What's he think he's gonna have it? They're scared because they know it's only a matter of time before we all come together and the jig is going to be up for these animals. And I don't care if it means several years of a broken society that we have to piece together and figure out how to fix because all the power players are gone. Get rid of them. Good people will step up. And there's still going to be corrupt people that you got to fight off. It's not going to be easy. It's going to take a while, but I'd much rather that than have these child rapists running this world. That's ridiculous. It sounds nuts to even think that people are against that idea. And finally, now that there's even the small inkling that a Republican is on the Epstein list, and finally now the super lefties are making it a higher priority to actually talk about. Because before, when they knew, then they had no fuel about it. They kept it quiet because they know all the Democrats are on it. Hillary Clinton's behind it. Bill Clinton, obviously. All of them are on there. Soros, Clinton. Les Wexner, the Victoria's Secret guy, Prince Andrew, the royal family's involved in it. George W. Bush. Nobody remembers that painting of George W. Bush that Epstein had at his house. Little George Bush, he's in the Oval Office, but he's sitting on his hands and knees like a little kid, and he's got one paper airplane in his hand, and there's another paper airplane on the ground, and then there's two Jenga towers crumble to the ground next to these two planes, next to him playing. What the hell do you think that means? It's all tied together. I sound crazy, I know. The red yarn is going all over the place. Why would Jeff Epstein have that painting? That random painting? Because he's in his pocket. Okay, this is an intel operation. This is a blackmail operation that's been going on for decades. And it involves everybody. Same with the Diddy stuff on the Hollywood and the music industry side. And the reason why it's not coming out is because there's too many powerful people involved and they want to protect their own. So they're all agreeing. That's another theory out there that Trumpy Bear told the other people, hey, I'll bury this, but you got to let me push my presidential agenda that you keep pushing back on. You keep fighting me on. So the Democrats are like, fine. Don't put it out there. No more transparency because then we'll all go down. That's another theory out there. because they're all involved. And you could call me crazy, you could roll out your eyes, and you could defriend me, and that's fine. It's the safe thing to do for you to keep your head in the sand and forget about it and pretend I'm the psycho. I'll be the psycho. I'll fall on the sword. I don't care. I'm not going to lose respect over you for it. I think you're a little bit of a pussy, but that's fine. I understand. It's a safe bet. It's a safe bet to just turn your head and run from the LPDS. Got it. But if you think for 1 second the Department of Justice is going to pull this bullshit and we're not going to push back at the LPDS compound, you got another thing coming. We're already primed and ready for war. We got the birds on our ass. Primed us up, got us ready. This is bullshit. The whole thing is bullshit. We are talking about all the people in charge, all the big bankers in charge of the world's money, all the big software guys in charge of it all. Bill Gates. Stephen Hawking was out there playing with the little people and the dwarves, doing all his little creepy stuff. Trumpy Bear was pals with those with the gang. Clinton, Bush, Andrew, Les Wexner, the French model, the guy who recruited French models, Jean-Luc Brunel. I think he actually got killed in prison as well. Don't forget, back in 2014 or 2014, whenever it was the first time Jeffrey Epstein got arrested, he got arrested for sex trafficking these like twins and triplets because his clients wanted twins and triplets, and Jean-Luc Brunel, this French like model recruiter, photographer, whatever the hell he was, shipped them out there for him, and they got pinched for it. And then Brunel was going to talk, so he got pinched. And then Acosta, the lawyer, the attorney general in Florida at the time, gave Epstein a sweetheart deal because Acosta and the gang, he found out that everybody else is involved, so they're going to let, this operation needs to keep going, this blackmail operation, so you got to let him go. You got to give him a slap on the wrist and keep him back out there. Because it was bigger than him. And he said it out loud, too, and now he's denying it. But that's on tape. He said it out loud. I was told to drop it because it's bigger than me. And he dropped it. Everybody is involved. Okay? Everybody big and influential is involved some way, shape, or form. And I think that Kash Patel and Dan Bongino are not, and they actually want to risk their lives to get the stuff out there, but they're being sidelined right now. Somebody must have got dirt on them to shut them up. Because that's why they're a deer in the headlights now. Oh, yeah, I know what a suicide looks like, so he got suicided. There's no doubt in my mind about it. And there was never any film or footage or anything. It's all bullshit. All to protect people who are ruining the lives of children. And that is one thing I will never understand. I'm not even a father. I can't imagine what it would be like when I am a father, just thinking about the idea of what if my kid was one of these victims? What if my kid is one of the thousands of missing children that I never see again because they're out there getting tortured and raped by these mongrels day in and day out until they die, and I never get to see them again, and we have an opportunity to hold them accountable. We're not doing it because of the status quo. Don't get involved. You'll end up on the Clinton death list. I can't imagine just being okay with any of that. And I'll be damned if we're not going to talk about it and call out the bullshit here on the LPDS. I don't care what it does. I don't care if DHS investigates me. Listen, my record is clean as a whistle. Okay? I got nothing to hide. If you see anything pop up, it's all fake. If anybody's a reputable investigator out there and wants to investigate me to prove that, please do before DHS or the FBI or some corrupt PI that hired by the Clintons or the Obamas comes out and tries to plant stuff on me. Like the guy, who was it? The brother of the Las Vegas shooter. Everyone remember this? The brother of the Las Vegas shooter, when he came out to push back and say, hey, this is like, he was, something's fishy here. What happened to the brother? They said they raided his house, and then out of nowhere, they found a Windows 95 era computer with 2 terabytes of child porn on it, even though the computer did not even have the capability to hold 2 terabytes of anything on it. It was a Windows 95 era computer. They did not have the capability or the technology to do that back then, but somehow miraculously they just found this in this guy's house, and he disappeared. So before those guys come in and plant stuff, please, somebody reputable who wants to stand behind the LPDS, we could do it on camera. We can record it all. You can investigate everything, and everything can be explained as above board and no real issues. I've done stupid crap in my life a ton of times. A lot of stupid stuff. But nothing illegal, nothing corrupt, no stealing, no grand larceny, no RICO cases against me, no assaults of any kind, no harassments, nothing. So you could try to come at the LPDS all you want. It's not gonna work. Look, here's the thing: whether you like it or not, I kept my record clean for a reason. A lot of you remember growing up, I always said I want to be president one day. You can ask my friends, even in college, that was always the goal. It's still not off the table for me if we can effectively, have a civil revolt and get the system back where it needs to be. I would consider running. But I kept it clean for a reason, because I knew that's the game they try to pull on you. Find the dirt, anything that can destroy the character of somebody, and then try to bury him with anything. Because that's what they do. That's what the opponents do. Good luck. You're going to have to hire someone to lie and pretend that I did something illegal or despicable to try to bury me in the lawsuits and sully my character in the court of public opinion. But in reality, it's not going to be true. Yeah, that'll definitely hurt. It's gonna hurt a lot of stuff for sure. But it's not. None of it's real. And I could prove it if you have, again, reputable PIs, investigators who have good moral character and are not on the take. Let's do it. I got nothing to hide. And that's why I'm confident talking about this crap and being the crazy, cooked out idiot in tinfoil all the time, trying to get to the bottom of this Epstein stuff. It's all bullshit. They're all in on it. That's all. The sooner we realize that, the sooner we could come together and take them all down. Just like the birds in the LPDS compound. And that's all I got to say about that, folks. Sorry if you hated this episode. I hated it too. Before we go, the big 3. The 3 pillars of staying strong and being a better, happier, kinder, healthier, less stressed, more genuine human being, being able to spread that positivity and goodness throughout the land. How ironic. Number 1, exercise every day. Do something every day to improve your physical, mental, or emotional health, fitness, and wellness. Number 2, the hardest one to do, don't be a shitty person, be a kind person. Remove yourself from the negativity. Very difficult for me to do, obviously, this week with the whole stuff that came out. So I've definitely failed a couple of those days. But if you can work to focus on that a little bit each and every day, you'll get better at it. Number 3, the most important one, be genuinely thankful and grateful for all the good you have in your lives. And let me tell you something. I make it a point actively multiple times a day to spend time in gratitude for the good I have in my life. And it makes my life that much better. So please go ahead and do that. And if you do these 3 things, I'm going to keep it very quick today, folks. If you do these 3 things, I promise you, each and every day, repetition, 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 you'll be a better, happier, kinder, healthier, less stressed, more genuine human being. You'll be able to spread that positivity and goodness throughout the land. And we'll get rid of the corrupt and the animals out there. That's how you eliminate them. You don't eliminate an enemy by killing them. You eliminate an enemy by making them your friend. You don't eliminate the negative and the corrupt by killing it necessarily. You eliminate it by changing so that everybody can be good. And then good will overpower the evil. That's how we win. You might have to take a few, you got to crack a few eggs to make an omelet. Got it. But follow the big 3. Oh. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe and put your notifications on and tell your friends and probably enemies if you hate them. If you hated this episode and you want out, tell your enemies to join in on the fun. Call the hotline, 202-670-1114. Tell the FBI the hotline. They can call in and bug the hotline, and they can listen in on our conversations now, because I'm sure that's what they're going to do if they hear about this. So love the hotline, though. If you're so inclined, if you're sticking around after this, call it up, 202-670-1114. Thank you guys again. I love you all. Stay strong.